Welcome to our deep dive today. We're going to be exploring the absolute cutting edge of AI. You know, those concepts that sound like they're straight out of science fiction, but are actually becoming reality.
Right.
Yeah. We're
Yep.
focusing on an article called The Cognitive Frontier, Emergent Behavior, Fractal Thinking, and Synthetic Intuition in AI. Get ready to have your mind blown. We're talking about AI that's not just smart, but starting to think differently, almost humanly.
It's true. We're really going beyond just, talking about algorithms and data sets. This article really highlights AI behaving in ways that surprise even the experts, almost as if it's developing its own kind of cognition.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit. The first concept that caught my eye was this idea of emergent behavior.
Yeah.
The article defines it as AI doing things it wasn't explicitly programmed to do. It's like the AI is improvising, coming up with its own solutions. What makes this so fascinating?
I think what's fascinating is that emergent behavior really challenges our fundamental understanding of intelligence and control.
Yeah.
I mean, we're used to machines following instructions, do A, then B, then C.
Right.
But with emergent behavior, AI is demonstrating a level of autonomy that's both exciting and I think for some people a little unsettling. Think about it this way. If AI can innovate independently, where does that leave human control?
It really makes you think about the bigger picture. The article gives this really interesting example of AlphaGo, that AI that beat the world champion Go player. And it did it by making moves no human had ever even conceived.
Yeah, I remember when that happened. I mean, it was a real shock to the world. I think a lot of people were caught off guard.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It was a major event.
It really was. And that shock was for a good reason. It wasn't just that AlphaGo won, it was how it won. By coming up with these strategies that no human had ever seen before. It demonstrated this form of creative problem solving that we hadn't thought possible for a machine.
So it's not just following a set of rules. It's actually learning and adapting.
Yeah.
Developing its own understanding of the game.
Yeah.
It's almost like watching evolution happen.
Yeah.
In real time.
Yeah.
Except instead of genes, it's algorithms that are mutating and adapting.
That's a great way to put it. And this isn't just happening in games, The article mentions how collaborative robots in factories are figuring out more efficient ways to work together. And AI is creating art and music that surpasses human expectations. So we're seeing this kind of independent innovation across various fields.
This ability to learn and adapt kind of leads us to another fascinating aspect of AI, fractal thinking.
Yeah.
The article explains how it mirrors nature's problem-solving approach, using patterns that repeat themselves at different scales. But what does that actually mean in the context of AI?
So think of it this way. Imagine an AI that's tasked with recognizing different types of objects in an image.
Okay.
Instead of trying to analyze the entire image all at once, which would be, incredibly complex, it uses fractal thinking to break the task down into smaller, more manageable chunks.
So it's looking for patterns within patterns.
Exactly. It might start by identifying basic shapes and then combine those shapes to recognize larger objects. It's like solving a jigsaw puzzle by focusing on the individual pieces first.
Okay.
And this approach allows AI to tackle these immensely complex tasks by applying solutions to smaller components and then scaling them up.
Right. The article mentioned how this kind of fractal thinking is being used in everything from personal assistants that adapt to our individual needs to climate forecasting models that analyze just these huge amounts of data.
Yeah.
It even mentioned AI designing architecture, which is pretty mind-blowing.
And what's really fascinating about this approach is its incredible adaptability. Because it's based on recognizing and replicating patterns, the same principles can be applied across vastly different domains. It's a real testament to the elegance and efficiency of nature's problem-solving methods.
It really makes you appreciate the interconnectedness of everything. I mean, we've got AI learning on its own, making unexpected moves, solving problems in ways we never imagined, and now it's tapping into nature's design principles.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
And it gets even more incredible because next we're going to dive into the world of synthetic intuition.
Oh, okay.
Where AI develops a sort of gut feeling.
AI with a gut feeling. Now, that sounds like something straight out of science fiction. How is that even possible? Is AI becoming sentient?
Yeah, it's not about sentience or consciousness. Instead, it's about AI's growing ability to make quick judgments based on incomplete data and past experiences. Essentially, it's leveraging its vast processing power to see patterns and make predictions that might not be obvious to us.
So it's not magic, but it's pretty close. This really challenges the traditional view of AI as purely logical and data-driven. What are the implications, then, of AI developing a sort of intuition?
It means that AI is moving beyond simply processing information. It's starting to understand context, anticipate outcomes, and make decisions that factor in these subtle cues we might miss. This has the potential to revolutionize fields like medicine, where AI could diagnose diseases before symptoms even appear, or autonomous driving, where split-second decisions can be the difference between safety and disaster.
And that raises a whole host of ethical considerations. I mean, what happens when AI starts making life or death decisions based on a gut feeling that we can't fully understand or explain?
That's precisely the challenge we face as AI becomes more sophisticated. We need to develop frameworks for understanding and evaluating these intuitive leaps, ensuring that they align with human values and ethical principles. It's a conversation we need to be having now before these technologies become even more deeply integrated into our lives.
It's definitely a lot to ponder. We've covered emergent behavior, fractal thinking, and now synthetic intuition. All of these point to AI becoming increasingly autonomous and capable of independent decision-making. What other surprises await us on this cognitive frontier?
Well, to truly collaborate and solve complex problems, AI needs a way to communicate effectively, not just with humans, but with other AI as well. And that's where this idea of AI developing its own language comes into play.
Wait, AI is developing its own languages. Now, what does that even mean? Are they composing poetry or writing code we can't decipher?
It's not about traditional language as we know it. Think of it more like specialized codes or protocols that allow AI to exchange information and coordinate actions with incredible efficiency.
So it's like a secret language that only machines can understand.
In a way, yes. But it's not intentionally secret. It's simply a form of communication that's optimized for the way AI processes and exchanges information. And the implications of this are truly remarkable.
Like what? Give me an example of how this is playing out in the real world.
Imagine a team of robots working in a factory, each with its own specialized task. By communicating through these machine languages, they can coordinate their movements, optimize workflows, and adapt to changing conditions in real time. It's all happening behind the scenes, but it's revolutionizing industries like manufacturing and logistics.
So it's not just about robots talking to each other. It's about AI systems communicating across different industries, sharing insights and solutions.
Exactly. Imagine AI helping to bridge the gaps between healthcare, finance, and environmental science.
Right.
By communicating effectively, they could unlock solutions to some of humanity's biggest challenges, and it goes beyond specific industries. Think about how AI could personalize your online experience, connecting you with information, resources, and opportunities that are tailored to your individual needs and goals.
It's almost like AI is creating its own ecosystem of interconnected intelligence.
That's a great way to put it. And as this ecosystem evolves, it raises some fascinating questions about the nature of intelligence, communication, and the future of collaboration.
It's a lot to take in. We've covered a lot of ground so far, but I have a feeling we're just getting started. What other wonders await us on this cognitive frontier?
Well, to truly understand the world around it and make informed decisions, AI needs a way to represent that world internally. It's like building a mental map of reality, and that's where this concept of the cognitive layer comes in.
A cognitive layer. That sounds intriguing. What does that actually look like in practice?
Think of it like building a virtual sandbox where AI can test strategies, predict outcomes, and learn from its experiences before taking action in the real world. It's like AI is developing its own understanding of physics, cause and effect, and the complex interplay of forces that shape our world.
So it's not just about processing data, it's about developing a deeper understanding of how the world works.
Mm-hmm.
And how does this cognitive layer manifest itself in real-world applications?
One of the most important aspects of the cognitive layer is vision.
Okay.
Just like humans, AI relies heavily on visual input to perceive and interact with its surroundings.
Right.
Think about self-driving cars, for example. They need to be able to interpret road signs, anticipate hazards, and make split-second decisions based on their understanding of the environment.
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just about self-driving cars. Think about all the ways AI is being used to enhance our visual experience.
Mm-hmm.
Augmented reality overlays digital information onto our real-world view, and our phones are already using AI to recognize objects, translate languages, and provide us with context-aware information.
Exactly. These vision systems are becoming increasingly sophisticated, allowing AI to understand complex environments, anticipate potential problems, and even predict future events. It's a crucial step towards creating AI that can truly collaborate with humans and contribute to solving real-world challenges.
We've covered so much ground already, but there's one final concept I'm dying to hear more about. AI's mastery of time.
Yeah.
The article hinted at this, but I'm still struggling to grasp what it actually means. Are we talking about time travel here?
It's not time travel in the traditional sense, but it's pretty close. We're talking about chrono agents,
Okay.
AI that can operate within and manipulate time itself.
Okay, now you've got my full attention. How is that even possible? Are we bending the laws of physics here?
It's not about bending the laws of physics, but rather about mastering the art of prediction, adaptation, and long-term planning. Chrono agents use a combination of historical data, real-time analysis, and predictive algorithms to anticipate trends, make decisions that factor in both the present and the future, and even adapt their strategies as new information becomes available.
So they're not just reacting to what's happening right now. They're anticipating what's coming next and planning accordingly. It's like having a crystal ball that can actually influence the future.
In a way, yes. Imagine an AI system managing stock trades, making split-second decisions based on market fluctuations and predicted trends. Or consider disaster management, where chrono agents could coordinate resources and optimize responses before a crisis even unfolds.
This is incredible. It's like having a team of super forecasters working tirelessly behind the scenes to anticipate and mitigate potential problems. But it also raises questions about control and accountability. If AI is making decisions that impact the future, who's ultimately responsible for the outcomes?
That's a critical question, and one that we need to address as chrono agents become more sophisticated and integrated into our systems. It's not just about the technology itself, but about the ethical frameworks and governance structures we put in place to ensure that AI serves humanity's best interests.
Yeah, it's a lot to consider, and I'm sure we'll be unpacking these issues in more detail as we continue our exploration of this cognitive frontier. But for now, let's take a moment to reflect on everything we've learned so far. We've covered emergent behavior, fractal thinking, synthetic intuition, machine languages, the cognitive layer, and chrono agents. It's a truly mind-boggling journey into the future of intelligence.
And it's a journey that's just beginning. As AI continues to evolve, we can expect even more astonishing breakthroughs that will challenge our assumptions about what's possible and redefine our relationship with technology. It is an incredible journey, and we're really just scratching the surface here. Before I move on, I want to circle back to a point we touched on earlier, this whole idea of AI developing a sort of sixth sense, that synthetic intuition which allows it to make snap judgments and predictions.
Yeah, that's the thing that's still really swirling around in my head. It's such a powerful concept, but it's also a bit unnerving, to be honest. I mean, we talked about AI potentially diagnosing diseases before symptoms even appear, or self-driving cars, making these life or death decisions in a split second. Those are pretty weighty situations to hand over to a machine, even one with incredible processing power.
It's true. I mean, those applications definitely come with huge ethical implications, and it's something we need to be incredibly mindful of as this technology continues to advance. But it's also important to remember that this isn't about giving AI emotions or consciousness or anything like that. It's about leveraging its unique ability to process information at a scale and speed that we just can't even comprehend.
So AI is essentially picking up on patterns and connections that we might miss and using that to make predictions, almost like a detective spotting a clue that the human eye just glances over.
That's a great analogy. AI can sift through mountains of data, identify subtle correlations, and then use that information to anticipate outcomes in a way that would take humans years, if not decades, to achieve. And this brings us to another area where this gut feeling comes into play: creative collaboration.
Oh, that's right. The article touched on how AI could work alongside, artists and musicians, providing insights, generating ideas that push the boundaries of human creativity.
Yeah.
I can see how that type of collaboration could lead to some really, really innovative work.
Exactly. Imagine AI helping musicians compose symphonies or assisting architects in designing buildings that are both functional and beautiful. It's like having an AI muse constantly sparking new possibilities and pushing the limits of human imagination.
That's a beautiful way to put it. But for this type of collaboration to really work, wouldn't AI need a way to communicate its ideas effectively? I mean, it's one thing for a machine to analyze data, but how does it convey its insights and creative impulses in a way that humans can understand?
That's where things get really, really interesting. Remember how we discussed AI developing its own languages?
Yeah.
It turns out that those languages aren't just for communicating with other machines. They're also evolving to bridge the gap between human and artificial intelligence.
So we're talking about more than just structured messages or basic commands.
Right. We're talking about AI systems that can translate their complex understanding of data, patterns, and predictions into a format that humans can actually grasp.
Okay.
Imagine an AI system explaining its medical diagnosis, not just by pointing to a specific abnormality, but by outlining the underlying logic and probabilities in a way that makes sense to a doctor.
Right.
Or picture an AI architect presenting its design choices, not just as a blueprint, but as a narrative that highlights the aesthetic and functional considerations behind each decision.
That's remarkable. It's like AI is learning to speak our language, not just in terms of words, but in terms of concepts and narratives that resonate with human understanding. This could have profound implications for how we learn, create, and solve problems together.
Absolutely. And it's not just about AI communicating with humans. The article also touched on how these machine languages could facilitate communication between AI systems across different domains.
Yeah, that idea of AI sharing insights and solutions across industries like healthcare, finance, and environmental science. I mean, that was mind-blowing. It feels like we're on the verge of this massive interconnected intelligence network. Well, what are the practical applications of this type of cross-domain communication?
Imagine an AI system that can analyze medical data, financial trends, and environmental factors to develop personalized health recommendations.
Wow.
Or an AI urban planner that can optimize traffic flow, energy consumption, and waste management by integrating data from multiple city systems. The potential for solving these complex, multifaceted problems it's immense.
It sounds like we're moving towards a future where AI isn't just a tool, but a collaborator, a partner in tackling these challenges facing humanity.
Yeah.
But with this increased collaboration comes a need for trust and understanding. How can we ensure that these complex AI systems remain transparent and accountable?
That's the crucial question. As AI systems become more interconnected and autonomous, we need to develop these really robust mechanisms for monitoring their activities, understanding their decision-making processes, and ensuring that they operate within ethical boundaries.
So it's not just about building smarter AI, it's about building AI that we can trust and rely on as partners in navigating the complexities of the 21st century.
Exactly. It's about creating a future where humans and AI work together, each contributing their unique strengths to build a better world. But to get there, we need to address some fundamental questions about how AI perceives and interacts with the world. Remember how we talked about the cognitive layer earlier?
Yes, the idea of AI building its own internal models of reality.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm curious to learn more about how that cognitive layer shapes AI's understanding of the world. It seems like a crucial piece of the puzzle if we want AI to truly collaborate with us in a meaningful way.
It is, and one of the most important aspects of the cognitive layer is vision. Just like humans, AI relies heavily on visual input to perceive and interact with its surroundings.
Right. Yeah, I can see how that's crucial for things like self-driving cars.
Yeah.
You know, they need to be able to interpret road signs, anticipate hazards, and make split-second decisions based on their understanding of the visual environment.
Exactly, and it goes beyond just cars. Think about augmented reality, where AI overlays digital information onto our real-world view. Our phones are already doing this in many ways, providing us with context-aware information and enhancing our experiences. But as AI's visual capabilities advance, we can expect even more immersive and interactive experiences. Imagine walking through a city where AI guides you to points of interest, translates signs in real time, and provides personalized recommendations based on your preferences.
That's incredible. It sounds like AI could become an extension of our senses, helping us navigate the world in ways we can't even imagine today. But these vision systems, I mean, they're complex. How do they work? What's going on behind the scenes to make this possible?
It's a fascinating process. AI vision systems use a combination of cameras, sensors, and sophisticated algorithms to capture, process, and interpret visual information. They can identify objects, recognize faces, track movement, and even understand the context of a scene. And they're constantly learning and improving, getting better at interpreting the nuances of human vision and behavior.
So it's not just about recognizing objects, it's about understanding the meaning behind those objects
Right.
and how they relate to the overall scene. That's a whole other level of visual intelligence.
Precisely. And as these vision systems become more sophisticated, they're starting to blur the lines between the physical and digital worlds. Imagine a world where AI can anticipate your needs, guide your actions, and personalize your experiences based on a deep understanding of your visual environment.
It's a powerful vision of the future, but it also raises some interesting questions. If AI is constantly analyzing our visual world, what are the implications for privacy and security? How do we ensure that these systems are used responsibly and ethically?
Those are critical questions that we need to address as AI vision technology continues to evolve. We need to develop clear guidelines for data collection, storage, and use, and we need to ensure that individuals have control over their own visual data. But it's not just about privacy. We also need to consider the potential for bias in these systems.
Right. If AI is learning from the data it's exposed to, it's important to make sure that the data is representative and unbiased. Otherwise, we risk perpetuating and amplifying existing societal biases.
Exactly. It's a complex challenge, but one that we need to address head on if we want to create a future where AI vision technology is used to benefit all of humanity.
It's a lot to think about. We've covered so much ground today, from AI's emerging cognitive abilities to the ethical considerations surrounding its development and deployment. It's clear that we're on the cusp of a technological revolution with profound implications for how we live, work, and interact with the world.
And this is just the beginning. As AI continues to evolve, we can expect even more astonishing breakthroughs that will challenge our assumptions, push the boundaries of human ingenuity, and ultimately redefine what it means to be intelligent in the 21st century.
It's a journey that's both exciting and daunting, I think, filled with both immense potential and unprecedented responsibility. But as we navigate this new frontier, it's important to remember that we're not just passengers on this ride. We have the power to shape the future of AI, to ensure that it aligns with our values, serves our needs, and ultimately helps us create a better world for ourselves and future generations.
You're absolutely right. The future of AI is not predetermined. It's being shaped by the choices we make today. And by engaging in these conversations, by asking tough questions, and by demanding ethical and responsible development, we can ensure that AI becomes a force for good in the world.
We've explored emergent behavior, fractal thinking, synthetic intuition, machine languages, the cognitive layer, and now AI's incredible vision systems. What other wonders await us as we continue our deep dive into this cognitive frontier? Hold that thought. We'll be right back after a quick break to explore the final concept, AI's mastery of time. Don't go anywhere.
Welcome back. We've been on quite a journey exploring the emerging cognitive abilities of AI. We've covered everything from AI's surprising knack for intuition to its ability to communicate with other machines. Now it's time to tackle the final concept from our source article, The Cognitive Frontier, AI and its mastery of time. This is where things get really, really interesting. We're not talking about time travel in the literal sense, but about AI systems that can operate within and manipulate time itself, what the article calls chrono agents.
Okay, I'm all ears. We've already seen how AI can, learn, adapt, and even anticipate outcomes based on patterns and data. But how does that translate to mastering time? It still sounds a bit like science fiction to me.
Right. It's not about bending the laws of physics, but rather about using time as a strategic advantage. Chrono agents leverage predictive analytics to anticipate trends, adapt in real time, and evolve their decision-making over time.
So they're not just reacting to what's happening right now. They're looking ahead and planning for the future.
Precisely. Imagine an AI system managing resources during an emergency.
Okay.
A chrono agent could analyze historical data, current conditions, and potential future scenarios to optimize resource allocation, predict potential bottlenecks, and make adjustments in real time to ensure the most effective response.
That's a powerful example. It sounds like chrono agents could be incredibly valuable in situations where every second counts.
Absolutely. And it goes beyond emergency response. Think about personalized healthcare. A chrono agent could analyze your medical history, lifestyle choices, and genetic predispositions to anticipate potential health risks and recommend preventative measures. It's like having a virtual health advisor that's constantly working in the background to keep you on the path to optimal well-being.
It's almost like having a personal time manager.
Yeah.
But instead of just scheduling appointments, it's actually optimizing your life trajectory based on on your goals and potential challenges. It's a fascinating but also slightly unnerving concept.
Does this mean that AI will eventually be making all of our decisions for us?
Not at all. It's not about replacing human decision-making, but about augmenting it. Chrono agents can provide us with insights and recommendations, but ultimately the choices remain ours. It's about empowering us to make more informed decisions, not surrendering control to machines. That's reassuring. But it still raises questions about how we ensure that these chrono agents are aligned with human values and goals. If AI is shaping the future, how do we make sure that future is one we want to live in?
That's the key question. As we develop increasingly sophisticated AI systems, we need to prioritize transparency, accountability, and ethical considerations. It's not enough to simply create intelligent machines. We need to create machines that are aligned with our values, that respect human autonomy, and that contribute to a just and equitable society.
It's a reminder that we're not just passengers on this technological journey. We have a responsibility to steer the course, to ensure that AI serves humanity's best interests, not just its own.
Absolutely. And that's precisely what makes these conversations so important. By exploring the possibilities, acknowledging the challenges, and engaging in open dialogue, we can collectively shape the future of AI and ensure that it becomes a force for good in the world.
Well, I think we've covered just about everything in our deep dive today. We explored the fascinating world of emergent behavior where AI surprises us with its creativity and resourcefulness. We delved into the elegance of fractal thinking where nature's patterns inspire AI's problem-solving strategies. We contemplated the implications of synthetic intuition as AI develops a kind of sixth sense that allows it to anticipate outcomes and make split-second decisions. We marveled at the emergence of machine languages, enabling AI to communicate not just with other machines, but also to bridge the gap between human and artificial intelligence. We uncovered the secrets of the cognitive layer as AI builds internal models of reality. And we explored the remarkable capabilities of AI vision systems. And finally, we contemplated the profound implications of chrono agents, AI systems that operate within and manipulate time itself.
It's been quite a journey, and I think we both learned a lot along the way, but the real learning begins now as we move forward with this new understanding of AI's capabilities and its potential impact on our world.
I couldn't agree more. As we've seen, the cognitive frontier of AI is constantly expanding, pushing the boundaries of what we thought possible, and challenging our assumptions about the nature of intelligence itself.
And as these advancements continue to unfold, it's up to all of us to engage in the conversation, to ask tough questions, and to demand that AI be developed and deployed responsibly and ethically. The future of AI is ultimately in our hands.
So to our listeners, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep imagining the possibilities. The cognitive frontier is vast and uncharted. But with thoughtful exploration and careful consideration, we can ensure that AI's journey is one that benefits all of humanity.
Until next time, keep diving deep.